The Unsullied were elite warriors renowned for their discipline in battle and utter fearlessness even against all the odds. These traits came from the fact they were eunuchs, meaning their testicles were removed at a young age to avoid distractions like lust. As slave soldiers from Astapor, they were often purchased by the free cities. Though Unsullied were trained to fight in large groups using spears and shields, they were also capable of wielding short swords for close quarters combat. Loyal only to their owner, the Unsullied were perfect for Daenerys Targaryen, who aimed to take the Iron Throne. Training for an Unsullied began at the age of 5, following their selection either as an infant or a slightly older child. Castrated, they trained from dawn to dusk for over a decade until they mastered the use of short swords, shields, spears and battlefield organisation. Due to brutal training regimes, 1 in only 4 children survived to become fully grown adult soldiers. Being eunuchs, they did not succumb to sexual or bloodthirsty urges during battle, meaning they only acted in accordance with their orders, nothing more. Furthermore, the Unsullied appeared to be resistant and even immune to pain, however they still possessed regular emotions like anger. Around 400 years before the War of the Five Kings, 3,000 Unsullied saved Qohor, one of the three cities, from complete destruction by Khal Temur and his Khalasar, consisting of 20,000 riders. Temur and his men massacred the Qohoric city guard and cavalry before the Unsullied arrived from their long march. However, both the Dothraki's mercenary allies broke their contracts and fled. As the former feasted, the Unsullied snuck past and prepared to repel the horde. When both sides came to blows, the Unsullied stood strong. Against 18 attacks from the Horse Lords, they locked their shields and held the line. Although only 600 Unsullied survived, 12,000 Dothraki lay dead, including Temur. As the new Khal led his Khalasar away from the city, they threw their braids at the feet of the Unsullied as a token of their surrender. Qohor never forgot what the Unsullied did. Unsullied were not always part of an army. Magister Illyrio Mapatis of Pentos, for example, had some as guards for his house. Furthermore, some Unsullied witnessed Khal Drogo and Daenerys Targaryen's wedding. The latter later travelled from Karth to Astapor in order to purchase 8,000 of the soldiers and the boys who were still in training, exchanging one of her dragons. However, when Daenerys was given a scourge which symbolised her ownership of the Unsullied, she ordered her men to kill all the good masters, soldiers and slave overseers, but spare any children and free any slaves. After sacking the city, Targaryen granted the soldiers their freedom, asking the Unsullied if they would fight for her as free men. They quickly unanimously acclaimed Daenerys as their leader. Later, Daenerys requested that the Unsullied chose their officers, as well as their overall commander. After some deliberation, Grey Worm was chosen. As free men with a new commander, officers and master, the Unsullied helped conquer Yunkai, and they were always ready for Targaryen's next move. Now it's time for this week's question. What are your thoughts on the Unsullied? For example, do you see them as being the effective soldiers they are meant to be? Let me know in the comments below. Today's video was suggested by a commenter in the previous episode, so make sure you tell me what you'd like to see covered next. Thanks for watching, and for more lore content, including Game of Thrones, keep it locked here to the Kyrgyzstan. 8,000 years before Robert's Rebellion, the Long Night occurred, a winter which lasted a generation. During the darkness and the cold, White Walkers made their way from the furthest point north into Westeros.